Hi there, this is Christine with Stampin' Up! Again, and this is the second of the 2 cards that I created this month for my subscribers with the based on the Spooky Treats Paper Pumpkin Kit. So the kit made treat boxes, but I wanted to make some fun cards to go along with them. So I grabbed the, what color is this again? Oh goodness, I've forgotten. It's the Fresh Freesia. Is one of the colors running through the kit. If you haven't seen it, it's in here, and I loved kind of that lighter kind of take on it. And then with the Parakeet Party, I thought those colors really complemented each other, and there's like the color of like Slimer and Ghostbusters is kind of like this guy. So anyway, so I thought the green ghosts made sense. So this is the card we're making. I'm going to set it up here. So in your class kit, you've got a piece of 11 by 4 1/4 in the Parakeet Party. And I have scored it at 5.5. So we're going to fold that in half. You can use your block or your bone folder to burnish that fold. Then we've got a piece of Fresh Freesia, just going to go on that. We've got a piece of Parakeet Party. This is strictly to make ghosts. Then we've got the in color Glimmer Paper. And we've got a sentiment piece. And we've got some ribbon, which is also in the Fresh Freesia color. Now the ribbon, if you received your kit in the mail, will be a little bit squashed, or if it's been sitting in its envelope since I packaged them up. So I'm just going over the creases with my bone folder. You can do this with a pencil too, just something that won't mark it up. And I've undone a lot of the creases, and because it's going to be behind this piece, it shouldn't matter if it's got a few left. So I don't need that right now. I'll put it up there. Now, let's start with our stamping. So we're going to stamp 3 ghosts on our extra green piece. And we might as well get all of our stamping out of the way. My Simply Chamois is full of orchid ink. So I'm just going to stamp the sentiment on the skinny piece. I'm using Happy Halloween again. And there we go. Sorry. And we'll put the ink away before bad things happen. So we're going to cut out our 3 ghosts, and I totally could have done this before I started filming, but I didn't. So please humor me. They are kind of quick to cut out, which is nice. I hope that you are watching this in good spirits. Okay, pun totally intended. I've got water in my cup, believe me. If you're dressing up for Halloween, or if you're dressing up your dog or your cat, or if your kids have really great costume ideas, I'd love to hear them. I think my oldest is going trick-or-treating with his friends. Hopefully for the last year. He's just turned 13 in the spring. I'm like, you guys are getting a bit big, but they really want to go. I feel that with COVID, they've kind of missed out on a few things, and if they stretch it out one more year, hey, why not? You're only a kid once. So I think he's going to reuse an older costume, though, because he wanted me to buy him this like $80 shark costume. I'm like, really? It's kind of a lot, buddy. I'm like, you're gonna have to pay for half. And he's like, oh, never mind. I'll wear one of my older costumes. I'm like, okie dokie. Saved myself 40 bucks. And the younger one is also recycling last year's costume, which is hilarious. He was a banana. But whatever makes them happy. Actually, my youngest and I have to find some time to sit down together and watch the new Hocus Pocus movie. That is such a great movie. Well, the first one was. I'm sure the second one will be good too. So if you're watching this and you're kind of tired of me cutting out ghosts, I am doing 3 ghosts, so you can skip until you get to the 3rd one. I won't be offended. Once we've got our ghosts cut out, I'm going to show you a fun technique, and then we will assemble the card. So one of the treats that I found at Bulk Barn was the Halloween Kisses, I think they're called. They're kind of like that molasses toffee. And apparently most people really don't like it. And I think it's amazing. So I used to like raid my kids' candy and take them. Well, last year, nobody handed them out. So I had to go out and buy my own, which I then ate the whole bag, which was not ideal. But turns out the youngest likes them too now. So I'm like, oh no, I have to share. All right, we have 3 ghosts. So before I put my scissors away, I wanted to show you this technique. I don't know if you noticed, the paper is like kind of frayed all the way around, and this is so easy to do, and it adds kind of, you know, spooky vintage. So I'm taking my scissors, I'm just holding it at the edge, and I'm just rubbing the sharp edge of the scissors along the edge of the paper. So the more you do it, the more frayed the paper will be, and it rips a bit, and that's just part of the look. If you don't like this look, you do not have to do this, of course. But if you've seen me do kind of vintage or shabby chic cards, I've done a few I've posted to Facebook. I'm not sure if there may be one on my YouTube somewhere. That is the easiest way to get that kind of fun vintagey looking back. So I'm just going to glue this down using good old liquid glue. And we'll center that on. And now that the edges are all jagged, you have a little bit of forgiveness there. All right, then we're going to take our glimmer piece, and on the back, I'm going to put a strip of tear and tape. So, I don't know, about 3 inches long, give or take. So I'm centering that on, and I'm removing the back. And then I'm grabbing my ribbon. So you'll see that the ribbon has a natural kind of willingness to curl on one side. So I'm going to use the side that wants to be kind of angled downward is what I'm putting to be behind. Now I am just bending the ribbon and placing it on the sticky, and it's going to take a shape. And if you don't love the way it looks, you can unstick it and move things as needed. So I think I went a little bit big with mine. I did. So I'm just going to start that again. So the idea is to kind of try to get it along the whole piece. There we go. That works for me. So if you stick it down flat, which you totally can, but your ribbon's kind of looking really smooshed. So I'm going to use dimensionals. And I'm actually going to space this out a tiny bit more. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to use dimensionals. I'm going to use my regular size dimensionals for this one, but the small ones are just as good. If you have any spots that don't have any ribbon, definitely get dimensionals on those, because if it gets smushed down, it's going to have it's going to want to stick to your bottom layer, which is not what we're going for. So, and that double-sided tape will totally hold your ribbon in place. Don't worry about having anything else behind it. You're good. So I'm going to center that-ish on the back. Now for my ghost, I'm going to put ghost number 1. I'm going to put him flat down. The easiest way to put him down is to use the glue dots that we've got in our kits here, or a piece of tear and tape, just something really sticky. And I don't recommend liquid glue, only because the Glimmer paper is really non-porous, and it'll take forever for the glue to dry. So ghost number 1 is stuck flat. Then ghost number, actually he's 2, 1 and 3, we're going to put dimensionals behind. And they don't need to be exactly at the same level. There we go. Now our Happy Halloween, we've already got, these guys are elevated and this guy's flat. So figure out, like, I'm going to trim the ends of my Happy Halloween a bit so that it fits nicer. And then I'm going to put a dimensional, a mini one, behind in the center. And I'm just going to put a teeny dab of glue on either side of that so that I've only got one dimensional and everything ends up being the same height. So I hope that makes sense. Just trimming this up and then I'll show you. So I'm going to use a mini dimensional for the center, like so. And then I'm just going to put a dab of liquid glue on each end, because the end pieces are going to sit on the raised up ghosts, whereas the other one is going to, the dimensional is going to level the rest of it. So. And there we go. So that is our second card. I'm going to do the same as the first one with our ghost. And stamp inside the card. You can also grab others of the stamps if you want. Just the cobwebs are fun. They're all fun. And there we go. So that is the second of the class cards that I made to go with this kit. The next kit is the Christmas cards. Last day to subscribe is October 10th. So if you are interested, don't wait, because that's coming up quick. So I hope you like these cards. Let me know if you have any questions. And thanks for watching. Have a great day.